Right. Welcome back to this will be episode 5 of Pokemon Red Out of Order. The last time we played, let me turn that music down a little, I'm getting overwhelmed. The last time we played, we got to Celadon City. And finished the fighting gym. There we go, we'll continue from here. I played for just a few minutes on my own outside of streaming in order to try and level up Oscar and Koji, my Growlithe and Snorlax. And I don't think either of them actually gained a single level, but during that time I also figured out how to rearrange my items. It turns out I remembered the right keys, I just had them scripted wrong. Cycling Road. Going for a ride with your... You look too young to have a girlfriend. Oh, this isn't the one that shows us Articuno. That is not a bicycle. What the heck, man? Okay, so it looks like Cycling Road is going to actually be a great place to level up on the way down to Koga. Because I think all of his Pokemon are around level 37? So obviously all my Pokemon are just a little bit over-leveled, or under-leveled for him right now. Which is fine, I'm just gonna punch everything. Haha, I laughed. This guy's got a motorcycle, he's trying to steal my bicycle. Oh, somehow he managed without a bicycle. I 100% forgot about the Cubone class. Or the Cue-Ball class, rather. Oh. This guy has one more Pokemon than the previous one, and they're higher level. And unfortunately, Oscar's in a terrible state because he's only level 28. I can evolve him immediately with a Firestone. I have one in the bank. But if I evolve him now, then he stops learning moves. That's a thing, at least in the first generation games and several generations of games, is that if you evolve the Pokemon using a evolution stone, they don't learn any new moves except by TMs. We just stop learning level up moves. I think that Eevee is an exception because it's Eevee. You couldn't just let it learn all of the you couldn't just let it learn all of the elemental moves as an Eevee and then evolve it. And you'd end up with Vaporeon with fire, water, and electric type moves, and that would be pretty powerful. So Growlithe, I don't think gets Flamethrower until like level 50. So he's going to stay at Growlithe pretty much until we get up to the Elite Four, unless I start finding some TMs. Okay, that's a little bit too little. Aw, dang. That's the guy I love to, like, get in front of and let him come to me, and then he complains about me bumping him. Okay, 33 is definitely the highest level I've seen on him so far. I've got Garlic at 37, who could take him out. But I decided I probably need to level up Koji. That was a critical hit. Because Koji can do decent damage with Headbutt. I can't wait to get him like Body Slam or Takedown. And he's also able to rest. Which will heal him back to full and get rid of poison. Smog doesn't have any chance of poisoning me while I'm asleep. He can, of course, poison me in this last turn before I get a KO, which he just did. Yeah, that sucks. That was also a lot of damage. This guy should just use Sludge. What the heck? Yeah, let's do one more before we go and heal up. I guess the Cue Ball, who is sending out a fighting type. Alright. So the Cue Balls are sending out fighting types, which is why I'm using Meow. As all of his fighting moves are not very effective. But Meow also doesn't learn any psychic moves until level 40. In fact, I think its last move that it learns is psychic at level 40. But it's also got a really diverse move pool because it can learn every TM. Why am I walking when I finally figured out how to do the bike fast? So registering an item to use with one button, like the bicycle, wasn't actually a thing until 2nd generation, and I want to say not even the beginning of 2nd generation. I think it was in Crystal. So the best I can do now is about 4 clicks to get to it, but that still saves a lot of time. Look at that. That's so much faster going back to Cycling Road than it was to get back to Celadon City. Level 26, we might as well try to get a little experience himself. Good job, Oscar. You know, all these cyclers with their, or bikers with their poison type Pokemon would all be coal rollers in real life. Nice critical hit. Okay, that was a low blow.
Wow, okay.
Alright, so it's slower to go uphill than downhill here because it's programmed to be downhill, but also it controls no hands. It automatically goes downhill. I have to actively control to go any other way. Yeah, it seems like Headbutt is actually a lot stronger in 1st generation, because just that last fight against that other biker, I did a Headbutt. The Grimer that he had, I think, flinched and actually skipped his next turn. So despite the fact that I went 2nd, the opponent actually skipped his whole next turn. Oh, he led with a strong one, okay. Oh, snap. Yeah, I'm knocked out. That's on me. And look, it even tries to go down where there's a wall there. Okay. You know, I just realized that Snorlax, by the time you get Snorlax, it's even cheesier. It's even cheesier than you think, because you've also got access to the Pokéflute, which is like an infinite awakening. You can just keep on using it to wake Pokemon up, and you can even wake up your Pokemon in battle. So, I'm pretty sure that I can use Rest on Snorlax, wait for him to go to, or then, you know, the next turn when he's asleep, I can just use the flute to wake him up, instead of waiting for him to wake up 2 turns later. I like riding through the grass and the flowers. Highway stars! You know what I forgot to do when I was in Celadon City was go back to the dang old PC and take out my HM for Fly. Wait. I don't think I can use Fly outside of battle anyways. Oh yeah! In this game, when they minimize, they actually become this just tiny little thing. Level 30. Yes, let's get rid of a move for takedown. Leer isn't very helpful right now. He's picking down his health. Gosh. Takedown has both. Seems like it has both bad accuracy and does the recoil damage. Ooh, that was a low blow. Sorry, you guys are gonna have to listen to it beeping for a few minutes. Yeah, I picked the wrong one. Oh, it's one lane now. Oh! And I guess all the poison on this route is good preparation for Koga. There we go. Shit. This Meowth's about to get knocked out by a muck. Yeah, let's get Mr. Fish in here. Oh my gosh, he's got 5. Alright, Koji's still poisoned. Any more on the route? Oh, Koji fainted as soon as we got done with the downhill part. People swimming. Pallet Town to the west. Oh, that's the only way to get Licky Tongue in this game. But I don't have a Slowbro. And also Licky Tongue actually isn't very good. There's the Pokemon Center. Why am I walking all around here? It's right next to the gym, obviously. Okay. Quick look for what I can get at the other places, and I want to have also a quick look at the Safari Zone. This is not how I get in the Safari Zone. Hey, I got the good rod. I managed to miss the old rod. I lost my teeth in Safari Zone. Ha-he-fwee. I don't know what the last part is. I really need cut to get into Safari Zone. 30 Safari Balls. Okay, the place I'm really trying to get to is the west part. This should be area 3. Nope, this is the center area. No, there's nothing particularly exciting in this area except Chansey has like a 1% encounter rate, and Scyther is also here, but like 4%. And this thing counts your steps for how it figures out how much time you have, because there's no actual in-game clock. It's a Parasect. Isn't in my Pokédex, so let's add it. Nidorino is in there. Let's get out of here. The secret house is probably the one that I just walked past. Okay, I don't know where I am, but there's like nothing up here. Oh my gosh, this area here was a waste of time. This is area 2. I'm still trying to find area 3. Okay, this is not the secret house, this is one of the rest houses. Alright, if I wasn't playing this with Garlic, with a Bulbasaur as my starter, then Execute is definitely the best grass-type Pokemon, or Exegutter, rather. Okay, we found the gold teeth. Huh. That means we actually got into... It means we did actually get into area 3. We didn't make it to the house that we're looking for, the secret house. But from the secret house, we get the HM for Surf. And in order to get to the Taros that are down there that you want to actually get, you need to be able to use Surf. So, despite the fact that I have a Pokemon that can learn it, I don't actually have the badge that allows me to use Surf yet. In order to get that, I need to take out this gym. So let's go ahead. Oh, well, let's go talk to the Warden first and give him his gold teeth back, because, ew, why am I carrying that in my pocket? Ooh, low strength. You hear, you're the Warden! Do you not know what's going on in your own dang Safari Zone? Okay, are we ready for this? I don't think that we quite are. Oh my gosh, I forgot. Just got the... Oh, wait! Can actually see where the invisible walls are. Okay, yeah, so... This guy's grunts are way too high level for me right now. It's gonna be a lot of damage. Okay, I'm not ready for this gym yet. Let's get rid of a couple of items that we don't need. Don't need the rod right now. Get rid of all the carbos. Get rid of the TMs. Get rid of the protein for now. So I'd really love to pick up a Tauros in the Safari Zone and start training that as my normal type, but they only have like a 4% encounter rate in the deepest part of the Safari Zone, which is the one that I just got to, and the only place that you can get to grass there is across the pond that you need to surf through. Hey, there's Articuno. Paralysis is obnoxious right out of the gate. Does Constrict work like Wrap? No, I can still attack through Constrict. Let's get rid of the poison. Good place to train, just once again. Wish that it wasn't. wasn't paralyzed right off the bat. Sand attack is so annoying. Oh, shoot. Hope all the sand attacks fail. Jeez. We gotta land a hit once in a while there, Kochi. Ooh, a Dodrio. Good timing on rest. Item. my gosh, these multi-attacks take so long! Yeah. Alright, so on the ride down, on Cycling Road, where I'm sure I missed a few trainers because, you know, the road's kind of split, I was using Meow for all of the fighting type Pokemon I was running into, all the Q balls. And then switching to Koji Snorlax for all the rest, for all the poison types. Over on that route, it seems to be almost entirely flying type Pokemon, so I can use Koji pretty much all the time, try to get some levels on him. I think he's going to be really useful against Koga. Just on account of being able to sleep off poison. Now, if we don't get to Koga today, then this seems like it'll be a good place to do a little bit of training, too. It's a decent level, level 20 Spearow right there off the bat. Not great, but Oscar can deal with them himself instead of having to switch out every time. I was really hoping for a one-hit KO there. Oh, okay, and level 29-ish. Raticate, level 29 Raticate. That's a second evolution. So it should be worth some decent experience. Gosh, with the Fury attacks. Okay, are they just all critics now? It's critting like crazy. I know it's got something to do with speed and faster Pokemon critting more often in this game, but jeez. Bringing Mew up to 40 would also be amazing. Because then I'd have Psychic to go in against all of those poison types that Koga's got. Fear is going to be good experience. So experience is based off of both the level of the Pokemon you're fighting and also off of its evolutionary form. So like a low form, like a Spearow, or Spearow, for example, is the lowest form of Fearow, so it's worth way less experience, even if they're both the same level. So fighting those evolved Pokemon, that's actually pretty important. How you use Mega Punch? You don't have any hands. And how you doing more damage than me? I'm a legendary Pokemon with 5 levels on you. Wow, that's a well-trained Fearow. Alright, let's go get some more experience. Oh, a Pidgeotto. Probably less damage to use Takedown than to... Yep. Then I get hit with another Gust. Is this a beauty? I think this is the first beauty that we've encountered. With a Bulbasaur? And poison, of course. Oh, for crying out loud. Traded Pokemon aren't necessarily stronger, but they do level up faster. Once again, poison is a much stronger status effect for NPCs to use than for the player to use. Because this poison is going to stick around even after the battle ends. Good job, Koji. Nah. Wrong button, dang it. Alright, whatever. There's the poison ticking again. It goes so far for this Pokemon Center. I also want Oscar to be as high level as possible, because I know Koga's got, like, a Venomoth? He's got one or two bug-type Pokemon that are, you know, weak against fire, so I want those fire types to be a little bit stronger. I want them to be ready. Yeah, we're switching to Koji. Because I want to be able to heal through the poison that you're inevitably going to throw at me. There it is. Recently did a video about Grimer, the Alolan form of Grimer at least, and in the process I realized that you can't get to Grimer until really super late in the early Pokemon games, in the first generation games. But there are several NPCs that use them. Poison again? Seriously? I mean, yes, I know that, like, all of its attacks have a chance of poisoning. They're... was dumb. Skipping my flute. Let's hope we're not freaking poisoned again. Okay, alright. At least we get out of that without poison. Right, because everything's frickin' poison. Let's get Koji back out here. She's got 5 of them. Yeah, headbutt's so strong here. You better rest now. Oh, since I have to change Pokemon, I'm out of attacks with Koji. See if we can get through this without being poisoned. Beautiful, good job, Oscar. Oh, I'm a little cutie! So again, despite being a few levels higher, Pidgeotto has the advantage of being an evolutionary stage higher. So it probably has slightly higher stats than my Growlithe here. It's obnoxious. Okay, you get a free turn. Music puts you to sleep, and music wakes you up. And with increased defense, that's annoying. So we're going to switch to special attack. Of course. Sing and sleep in general are so incredibly powerful in this generation. I think I can take Pikachu. I mean, it's also base evolution, so yeah. Raichu is probably a different story. Second paralysis. So I gotta get paralysis and then the fact that my moves sometimes miss. Doop-a-doop-a-doo. That's 3 misses in a row! Mega Punch's accuracy isn't that low. It's generally reliable. Oh my gosh, this game is just cheating. Oh my gosh, that would have been a KO if it hadn't used Growl. How wild is that? Okay, that little pause there means that it's changing routes, it's loading the next map. A little bit annoying that those gates force you off the bicycle for just a few seconds and make you go back in and hit the whole key sequence again. So Koga and Sabrina, I think, are meant to be interchangeable. In most runs, they're the ones that are generally considered to be interchangeable. that's like if you don't fight, you only get to fight Sabrina after you take out Giovanni and Sylph Scope and all that stuff. So I could go up there and try her next, but one of the big problems is that there's really nothing in first generation that's good against... I would have been so mad if that made me flinch. There's really nothing in the first generation that's good against Psychic. Like, in the anime, they say, oh, you need a ghost type to fight a psychic type, and that kind of makes sense, right? But the problem is that all the ghosts in this generation they're all poison type, which means that they're all actually weak to psychic. The only thing that's strong to Psychic, if I remember correctly, is Bug. And all the Bug-type Pokemon are either really weak or don't really get any Bug-type attacks. Like Scyther, I don't think Scyther gets any decent Bug attacks. The implication there is that there are decent Bug-type attacks, which isn't exactly the case. I think the only decent Bug attack is Pin Missile, and there's only 2 Pokemon that learn it. One is Beedrill, who is also a Poison type, so weak to Psychic, and as a early Bug Pokemon is really, really weak. It's not able to actually back up that attack. The other one is Jolteon, which doesn't get same type attack bonus. It doesn't get same type attack bonus and doesn't have really great attack, which is fine. You really want it to have a lot of special attack, right? Because it's electric type, and electric type moves use special attack. I guess this whole route just allows you to, or this whole sidewalk up here, pretty much just allows you to bypass everything. Oh, another biker. Sko, sko, sko! The recoil from takedown is better than being stuck with poison. And there's gonna be no poison. Thank the Pokegods. There's actually a playground, like a playground legend when I was a kid, the Legends of the Pokegods. A lot of them were like, oh hey, here's this special technique to get your Pikachu to evolve, or your Raichu to evolve. You have to beat the Elite Four 256 times and then use a Mist Stone on it, or trade your Pikachu to Pokemon Gold while it's and then have it hold a Water Stone, and then trade it back, and it'll evolve into Pika-Blue. Or a really complex way to get your... I think I can beat this. A really complex way to get your Dragonite to evolve into Yoshi. Now let's go heal up real quick, just because poison's really annoying. Oh, holy mackerel! What is the best thing to switch to here? I guess it's Koji? Ditto's gonna get transform and turn into Snorlax. But it only gets like 5 power points for each move. I honestly do not remember Ditto being on this route. Like, I thought Ditto only showed up in Cerulean... Oh, shoot. I thought Ditto only showed up in, like, Cerulean Cave and maybe the Safari Zone? I really do not remember ever encountering it here before. Once again, if I was doing a Nuzlocke run, Oscar would have died poison. Maybe after I finish Red, after I finish this out-of-order playthrough, maybe after that I'll go and try doing a blue Nuzlocke. I'm sticking to the idea of using Koji. This Ditto can't do a lot of damage to me. It puts itself to sleep automatically. totally ignores the Pokeballs. What the heck? Hey, you got Ditto. And gotta take a second to ban a bot spammer. Pokemon fight? Alright, rumble! Things that always gets me in these games is why is my character, a 10-year-old boy, running around and solving all the problems in the region? Like, oh no, the roads are blocked off because their Snorlax is asleep there. Well, there's nothing we can do. Let's just wait for a little kid to come by and try to catch it. Like, where the heck are the gym leaders? Where are the Elite Four? Where are the police? I would certainly hope that if you're criminals and bikers and cue balls and ne'er-do-wells who are out here causing trouble all the time, that if they're running around with level 30-ish Pokemon, that the police officers have their own decent Pokemon too. Like, got it, okay, yeah, Elite Four are too busy running a tournament to deal with all the problems in the region. Got it. Maybe Pokemon aren't supposed to be useful, maybe they're just supposed to be sporty. Yeah, headbutt. OP. Flinch. OP. I've got like rare candies, I think. If I could get Meow up to level 38, I could just drop those 2 rare candies. Nope, that's just grass. What might be the play for Koga? I feel like oh gosh, Swords Dance. I feel like I should have spent more time between sessions leveling up these Pokemon. Oscar to 36 is great. You're too busy talking about legendary Pokemon. Oh no! Oh my gosh. Sorry dude, you can't disable all of my attacks. Doesn't matter if I can get a good Mega Punch and get a KO. No KO. Mega Punch! I just imagine Furo curling its wings up into a fist and just punching. Like Donald Duck style. try and get that one last attack in. Oh my gosh, we got nothing happening for multiple turns here. My bite keeps missing. His bite lands. Oh my lord, you know what? Did I get hit with a frickin' sand attack that I didn't notice? Okay, let's charge all the way back to heal from poison again. Alright, let's check the bank. 3 rare candies. I want to save the 4 restores for later. Alright, let's go in here and get some experience. Doesn't really matter. Am I going to get out of this entirely unscathed? No, I'm not. One more level 1. Mew is actually going to be a big deal. I really don't remember, like, okay. I vaguely, now that I see them, I vaguely remember these juggler guys in here. But I always thought it was ninjas. Oh my gosh, with the missing the mega punches. You had free attacks and stuff, and you just keep missing. Alternatively, if I can't get that last level... Boy, I wish you got extra experience for one-hit KOs like that. Alternatively, if I can't get that extra level, then I think that there's probably some... recovery's going to be obnoxious. I think that there's probably some rare candies in the Safari Zone. It's just critical hit straight across the board. I mean, I was just one-hit KOing everything. The Hamers I also just barely remember. Beautiful. Beautiful again. Okay, we're getting there. Okay. Paralysis stinks. If I'm not paralyzed this turn, I should be fine. Oh my lord. Try and get those last couple of, just a little bit more experience on Oscar is going to do me really well. Like, the more the better. I'd be really happy for Garlic to level up too. It's not going to be a really super useful for this fight. It can be really super useful for this fight, but, you know, every little bit helps. And this is the last one before Koga. Another poisoned Pokemon. I'm really wishing at this point that Bite was a Dark type attack. Dark didn't exist at this point, but it would be so good for dealing with all of these psychic types in here. Alright. Let's try a tackle. That wasn't much better. Everything is kind of low right now. Didn't want to use Pound anyways. Alright. So the only way out is all the way back around. He doesn't have a little stoop to jump over. Mr. Fish fainted. Okay, let's get our rare candies out. User's level 40. Try and learn Psychic. Finally get rid of Pound. Alright, and with that, let's see if we can take on Koga. Not that way. This way. I'm really at the end of the time that I've got today, so I'm going to get one attempt here. I use one attempt here and try to finish him, and if this doesn't work, then I'm going to have to come back next session. Not what I want. I wanted, I thought that he was going to use... I thought he was going to start with his Venonat, but I think that might be his ace. Boy, even 6 levels under. Coughing's doing pretty good here. Or, Rex is doing pretty solid here. Gosh. Psychic should just about wipe him out. Oh, yes! Those were 3 rare candies well used. Wheezing? What happened to his Venomoth? Oh. Yeah, that was a wasted move. I actually expected that to be way harder. Meow OP. And I got Toxic. You didn't even use Toxic. Okay, well, finished Koga. I honestly expected that I was gonna lose that. I was probably gonna be down to just Mew, but here we are. All right, and that is definitely all the time that I've got today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. If you are not following me on Twitch, you can watch me live over there. I usually do a stream on Saturday morning, and occasionally I'll do a different one throughout the week, frequently doing the newest Pokemon game on like Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then a older one or a different game entirely, or pack openings on Saturday mornings. Alright, so once again, thank you for joining me. Alola.